We just brought the machine back. I'm gonna take it to the job soon. As you can see, it's getting dark out here. You know, it was bright and it was all sunny before, but now we're dealing with dark clouds. So it's a one-day rental. It cost me like 180 bucks. But this was the good one because he changed out the teeth on it. He did the oil change. He said this was the one to get. And I've used it before. I didn't realize that that it wasn't self-propelled, but it's actually pretty easy to move. So we'll take this to the job. I'll show you some of the stuff, and then we'll get started grinding. This thing is loud. Like I didn't even realize that, but it is really loud. So here it is. Here is the job. We're just going to be all right, note to self, this thing is killing it. We're doing a stump every 7 minutes. I mean, I'm grounding them down about a foot or so just to get all of it. It's sort of a pain in the neck though, because brick encasses each one of these shrubs. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's like 12 shrubs, maybe some more in there. So it's a bunch of stuff. But I mean, this stump grinder is killing it. It's 7 minutes per shrub. It's crazy. So yeah, I just cut them real low with the chainsaw and just grind them out as best I can. I mean, this thing, it's just a beast. It's just destroying them. The only issues I have are you know, the brick that encases it, and there's a bunch of wires and stuff in here, so I just gotta like work around that as best I can. So that's what I'm trying to do here. But yeah, I mean, it's great. This thing is phenomenal. It's killing it. It's a rental. I mean, it's 180 bucks, but I mean, that's it. I think it just goes in there and destroys it, and it's well constructed, I think. The stump grinder, now we're having issues. I went through 12 or 14 stumps, and now you know, when you put the stump grinder in, as you know, it levels it to the ground, and then from then on, it's like you see all the smoke come out underneath the machine, and it's just not cutting. It's sort of just burning the stump. So I'm assuming that the blades are dull, so we're going to go back to the rental place again, and we're going to exchange this for the other machine and then finish the job. So that's, we are on the second. We are on the second stump grinder. I've ground out probably 14 or so stumps. So you can see I ground them pretty deep, just ground them all out. You know, when I first started, the first stump grinder was great. We were doing, you know, a stump every like 7 minutes or so. And then as soon as I got to around these, you know, I know there were some juniper shrubs in here. And so what happened was it was smoking really bad underneath, you know, when you started grinding it out down there. And so I figured the blades went dull. And so we got the replacement unit, which is the same one. It's the SGR 13, it's the Toro stump grinder. And it's been doing great. I just did these real quick, and I got a couple more along the back to do. One a Cuba shrub, and this one and that one. And that'll be done, and I'll probably just do the one shrubs and stuff up there, the Akuba shrubs, and then we'll be good to go. And then I'll just sort of rake this out as best I can, and then we'll have to eradicate some of the weeds that we got growing in here, and you know, it's ivy all throughout. But yeah, it's yeah, this thing, it's you know, that I thought it'd be pretty easy, but in reality, you got to wrestle this thing around. You got to wrestle it back and forth and back and forth, and you know, the wheel will lock right here, and so you got to go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. So it is pretty laborious. This was just a Home Depot rental. So yeah, the first one was taken out of commission. Actually, I pulled out the starter rope on it on the first one, and yeah, the blades were dull, so we switched over to the new one. So we're just cranking the stuff out right now. So yeah, just a couple more, and then we'll be done. And yeah, and then I'll just clean up the stuff you see in there, and it'll be all set to go. We'll be all done. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll probably do maybe one more video when we're all done, and maybe a review of the stump grinder, you know, probably later on. So stay tuned. Thanks. Alrighty, so this is done. So cleared out the whole area. Everything was sort of leveled. I think what will end up happening is they're going to bring in soil and cover this whole area and sort of level it out. But as you can see, everything was just completely obliterated. I think in total it was around 16 or 18 stumps that were all ground. So those will have to all be filled in with some soil, some topsoil. And, you know, if he wants to kill it off, all you have to do is spray it, use like some form of glyphosate, some heavily glyphosate-based product, like the 41%, the cheap one at Home Depot, you know, like that could be used. But yeah, so all this stuff was leveled, and yeah, I ground out the major stumps, and then they'll just have to treat the any little saplings and stuff that pop back up. But yeah, so that's it. Yeah, so we are done. This thing is completely leveled. All right, it's sort of late. It's like 7, but I'm gonna go take care of another stump grinding thing. Actually, this wasn't a stump grinding job. I would actually just go in there and pull out the shrubs by hand. I just got really sick of it, so for the last 2, I'm just gonna grind them out. So you can see them back there. They're big, I think they were lean cypress hedges. So I'm just gonna grind those out. So you can see the 2 in the back there. So yeah, we'll grind those out. You see how big that thing is? It's huge, huge root ball. So yeah, we'll grind those 2 out. All right, guys, so all finished up. I'll just give you guys a look at how much I ground out. So it's midsummer, and you know, it's brutal. It's like 100 degrees out here, so it's brutal doing it by hand. So you know, I did some of them, and the advantage to that is you don't grind out all that sawdust in the ground, so when you plant, it doesn't interfere with the root system in the new plant. So you know, these are all gone, and you can see these gaping holes that I've created with the stump grinder. I mean, it's just absolutely destroyed it. You see just monstrous holes. So what I'll probably end up doing is get like an acid neutralizer, like pelletized limestone, stick it in there, and then come fall, remove some of the chips, and then just plant some more shrubs. We had a heavy winter, so we lost a bunch of shrubs. And yeah, so I'm just filling back in. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to comment, like, subscribe, and check out the description for some cool extras. Thanks so much. Have a good one.